Why put somebody on a waterboard? To gain information. That's not quality information. Why put a man on a dog lead? It was reported in the newspapers. Is that humane? People who do that are sick. There's no justification. Isn't that why the Second World War occurred? They're now starting to edit the internet. They've been doing it for quite a while. Anybody with intelligence knows. They know that. They can intercept calls that are coming into your telephone. They can do whatever they want. You wouldn't know. I'm not saying it's been done on a daily basis. I'm just telling you it's possible. What I'm telling you is that we live in a country in America where we're supposed to have rights under that Constitution. Obama is a good man. No one's backed him at any stage. What was the point of electing him? He's carrying the can for what those people did all the time. The CIA never got one decent piece of information in all their time. They're a waste of money. Yeah, I'm standing up against them. I'm not afraid of them. It's time someone did. People have done it, I know. But with the information I've got, I can really hammer it home. Americans have something inside of them. They'd never ever leave one of them men behind. Never. If they can get him out, they will. Well, I'm an ordinary person, but I'm an American, and I want Americans to stand up for me. I promise you I stood up for you. I never walked away on any level. And did I pay a penalty? Yeah. Look at my eyes. I'm a strong person. But I paid a huge penalty with that mental asylum. I could have handled prison. Mental asylum. Diagnosis of delusion, I imagine it. Will explain my wife. Government officer, I repeat it. Government officer who said the same thing. Now then, I'll let you speak to my wife for a few minutes. There's a lot more involved, yes. But right now, I think that's enough, and my wife will verify some of the facts to you. I think it's important you hear it independently. We're not used to doing this kind of thing, and we're trying to do it as best I can. I'm good with documents, but I'm not very good. Well, I'm not very good at appearing on the camera. So you ask Betty, what's your full name?
Betty Lynn McHugh.
Can you give me your career history?
I have worked over 21 years with the Department of Defense up in New Jersey, and the other 7 working for the Department of Interior down in Virginia.
I just want to go over something. When you worked for the Department of Defense, were you Employee of the Year at CCON?
Yes, I was.
And quarterly as well?
And quarterly.
Can I ask you, when you worked for the Department of Interior in the year concerned 2011, the year where everything was in question, how high was your appraisal rating with the government?
The highest rating any federal employee could get, an exceptional.
And do many people get that rating?
That's a rating that's very hard to get. Most people will get a superior.
Right. When we met this agent, did he ever listen properly to what we had to say to justify all of this?
Never.
Did he walk away all the time?
Continually.
Right. Did you tell him that you did the same things as me?
Yes, I did.
And what did he do to you?
Nothing.
Do you not think that's suspicious?
It's highly suspicious.
Right. Can I ask you, some people at work know what went on?
Yes.
And they still didn't ask you to leave the job?
No.
Right. And do you think they would have done if it was a lie?
They would have.
They certainly brought it into question, wouldn't they?
Yes.
Because the security men were building you.
Yes, he did.
Right. So, at this hearing that took place in the mental asylum, did you stand up and tell them all of this?
Most certainly did.
Were we able to obtain later on that document that was administered into the court?
Absolutely not.
And as far as we know, any documents administered into a court hearing have to be kept on court record.
Yes, they do.
And did we try the courts, the hospital, everywhere to obtain it record?
We tried every avenue we possibly could.
Right. Now, before you left the country, did you try and contact the agent concerned?
Yes, I did.
What did they say to you at the Secret Service?
They couldn't find anybody with the name that I had given them.
Do you think that's suspicious?
Highly suspicious.
Do you ever deal with the Secret Service in your job?
Yes, we
Without
did.
giving out anything. So to give out a name is not something that's secret, is it?
No.
So there was something not quite right about all of that.
It was very much not quite right with it.
Okay. So, to go over the facts, what were in those files that we gave?
Where it was going to be, the time it was going to happen, about the helicopter, the burial at sea.
No, hold on for a minute. So, who was it all about? What was the name of the man it was about?
Osama bin Laden.
Right. And you knew this at the time you sent that file?
Yes, I did.
Right. And the reason for you signing all the documents was so that we could prove at a later date it wasn't just me?
Absolutely correct.
Right. So, we now have a problem, you see, here. And what it is you've got two ordinary people who are very ordinary, really. Clever doesn't matter. Standing up against an agency that may well have told lies to a lot of Americans. Americans are sitting back too much, and because they're scared. And I really understand that one, trust me. If anybody understands it, I do. My family is scared. But unless we stand up and support me, this will continue and it will get worse for the nation we live in. It won't get better. In the documents I did, I cross-referenced everything. Can I just get back then?
Sure.
I cross-referenced everything. The emails, the files, and the sealed letter were designed to do this. So they became tight. There was no arguing them. Every angle became tighter and tighter. So the more you tried to argue against what was in those things, it would slowly catch you. I based it on John Nash's string theory. Chance. Yeah. It took a lot of work. I spent at least 16 to 20 hours a day for weeks and weeks on end putting those files together to make sure I was totally secure, knowing what they might do to me. Oh yes, I knew. That's why I did the sealed envelope. We have the proof. It was later told to the newspapers by the president. Oh no, not true. The president was quoted as saying that the information that was given came from an extraordinary source. In fact, it was unbelievable in a way. If it was somebody in Pakistan who gave the information, that wouldn't be extraordinary or unbelievable. They would have just seen the fort, seen him in it, and that would have been the end of it. So it had to be someone that was, like they say, extraordinary. Someone who lived in the United States. Then, look at the fact no reward was paid. No, none has been paid. Please understand that's the fact. Nothing's been paid behind the scenes. It's been confirmed in writing it's not been paid. They also confirm in writing that they know it's unlikely to ever be paid. Interesting, isn't it? Well, if you were a poor Pakistani on the streets, do you think you would want to let that money go? I haven't seen the film. I don't want to see that film that was made. But in this sealed letter here, I put in the fact that I knew a film would be made. It didn't take a lot of working out, they always do. And I put in that the film was a lie. It's in the document before the raid. I'm not calling the film company a liar. I'm just saying that some of the storylines are distorted. And I believe that some of the SEAL team, one of the SEAL team, has said the equivalent. No film is accurate. I guess that's about all I can say. I have all the documents, a lot. Showing them on camera really won't work. It's not going to. But it's the truth, and I've taken a risk. For myself, principally. I'm not going to lie. I'm owed damages now. If it's the truth, I was owed the reward. After throwing me in the mental asylum, I was due more money. Threatening to get me out of my nation, the one nation I loved, a citizen, I was owed more. That hit home more than I realised, to be honest, till I came back to Britain. I didn't think it would, but it has. Then, being on the streets, I was owed money for that. I was owed money for everything they did to me. They made it worse and worse. String theory reversed on me, no way. I've got a dog on the streets. I won't go and live with family. It's not me. 58 years old. No. Could my family help me? Depends what you mean. Believe in standing up yourself. In America, I learned to change. I saw that flag not quite in the way that everybody else did, but in the way that people coming into the country see it. It's a dream that we all have of changing our lives. If we lose that and become a dictatorial state, covertly done, then we'll have nothing left. I'm not political, but I'd like to say something. We're providing electricity for South Africa or lighting. What about New Orleans? I'm an American, and I'm sorry if that sticks hard to other people in South Africa. I believe in helping them. But I've seen so many Americans starving. Camden, New Jersey, I saw. The other side of the river, I saw it. They haven't got a lot of hope. Isn't it important we help them? I don't know how much that lighting costs, but we could rebuild Camden. It can be done. Just take someone motivated. America's poor. It's not like people think. I've seen it. They call middle class people middle class. The truth is, not middle class are poor. That's the truth. Down in those places, please support me. I'm an American. Get it in the newspapers. Tell your friends. It's important. And to YouTube, you're an American company. Back an American. Because otherwise you'll be legislated to the point where you're out of work. It's time. Yeah, I've got British blood. I defend my country. I always will. But I'm an American. Help my wife and I. Let us win. Show them that the people matter first. Always do. We're the ones that are important. Thank you.